let's start with the Blue Jackets. They're near 2-1. They're plus 190 on the road. Traveling to Carolina, minus 225. The over-under here is 6. Carolina is another team being picked by a lot of folks out there as a Stanley Cup, or at least to represent the East in the Stanley Cup final. They're around 10-1 to win it all. I think that I before I saw the lines, before I was digging into these numbers for the show, I thought that Columbus would be a little bit higher, and I'd be like, God damn, I'm going to have to bet the Blue Jackets on Wednesday night. But this line looks about right to me, so I'll be passing here. You, on the other hand, have an angle you like.
Yeah, I have an angle I like that was really profitable going against the Blue Jackets last season. It was a play I loved for a lot of teams. So I see value backing the Hurricanes to win, parlayed with the over 6 at plus 160. There's also some sites that'll let you do the over 6 with the Hurricane spread for a considerably better price. I think that's a good angle there. The Blue Jackets, they gave up the 5th worst goals against per game last season at 3.62. They gave up the 2nd most shots, and they gave up the 4th worst expected goals against at 3.36. And I don't think any of those issues are that likely to get shored up this year. They brought in Gudbranson, who really isn't, I don't think, going to move the needle at all. All the defenders back there aren't overly strong. And then now they're going to rely on Line in a bigger role without Oliver Bjorkstrand, who actually has a way better overall impact on the game. So I just think for a lot of reasons, this Blue Jackets team should end up being pretty weak defensively again this season. And then they're going to be playing a Hurricanes team with a lot of offensive talent and throughout 3 lines, which I think is a notable comment in this matchup with Columbus, because some of those bottom guys could really have a strong night. So yeah, I think we have a better chance that the Hurricanes win a high scoring game than that number suggests. And I think it's a good spot to go to a play that I really liked last year. I think there's a lot of spots where these over money line parlays with home teams were just clicking at an absurd rate. So hopefully we can start out the season getting another one of those going.
Yeah, it does. Beg mentioning that last season was the most successful season for favorites in terms of win percentage, 64.8%. That's the best we saw in our Action Labs database, which goes back to 2005, 2006. And also worth mentioning that overs for the first time in that span clicked at over 50%. So makes sense there, especially the Blue Jackets. Some teams that have those defensive flaws, then they have the goalie that can kind of mask over it. I wouldn't say the Blue Jackets have it, and they don't have the offensive depth to paper over those issues either.